Hi guys, it's Kino. Welcome to another video. So today's reading is for the transit of Jupiter into the sign of Leo. Jupiter is going to be entering Leo on June 30th, 2026 and is going to stay there until July 26th, I think, of 2027. So this is roughly a year-long transit. There's going to be two parts to this video. First, of course, we have the pick a card reading, and here we're going to get messages about how this transit will affect you personally, what you can expect during this year-long period. And then I'm also going to do a little astrology talk, which is totally optional. If you would like to tune into that, we're going to talk a little bit about Jupiter energy and Leo energy and what it could mean when Jupiter enters this sign, and what we'll see happening on a personal level and what we'll see happening out in the world during this transit based on my intuition and speculations. So yeah, that will be time-stamped down below if you want to tune into that. If you just want to skip ahead to the reading, of course, there will be timestamps down below for your group as well. But oh yeah, and also we need to just take a moment to look at this lion. He's so cute. I found, actually they had all 12 zodiac signs candles in the shop, and I knew I was going to be doing this reading, so I was like, I have to get the lion. And I don't think I can light this candle because he would melt and then I would be very sad. He's just so cute. Also, I don't know if this is significant for anyone, but at the time that I'm filming this, it is thunderstorming outside and the lightning is crazy. Like the whole sky gets lit up and it's purple. It looks really cool. So I don't know if maybe that's a sign for someone, but I just felt like sharing that with you. Anyway, so let's get into your reading selection. There are 3 groups to choose from today. I'm going to show you each of these crystals up close one by one, and please pick whichever one you feel drawn to the most. Number 1 is Caribbean Calcite. Number 2 is Amethyst. And number 3 is Citrine. Okay, so as always, take all the time you need to pick. You can pause the video if you need to. I'm going to go ahead and get started with number 1. Okay, so welcome to the Astro Talk portion of this video. We're going to be talking about what we can expect while Jupiter is transiting through the sign of Leo on our personal in our personal lives and just out there in the world. This is kind of half my astrological analysis and half intuitive ideas that were coming to me, and I do have a lot of notes, so I'm gonna be reading from those. But yeah, this is just my interpretation, so please feel free to add anything, any insights that you might have in the comments. By the way, you're gonna notice a few jump cuts in this section, like this one right here, because I keep having new ideas and then I have to come back and add them. So if you see like this setup kind of moving around, don't worry about it. Okay, so let's talk about Jupiter a little bit. As you may know, Jupiter is a benefic planet, which means that it generally has a pleasant vibe in the sky. It generally does bring us good things. The themes around Jupiter are expansion, growth, luck, optimism, also wisdom, things like higher learning, higher perspectives, philosophy, spirituality. So based on where the sign of Leo is positioned in your birth chart, Jupiter is going to be entering into a specific house for you, and that determines the area of your life where it will be playing the biggest role. So a couple things that it can do is, of course, it can bring good luck and growth and expansion to that area of your life. But it can also just kind of magnify whatever is going on there. It brings the focus to that area of your life. Like that area of your life will literally be taking up more of your time and more of your energy. I kind of want to use myself as an example here so you can see what I mean. But in the past year, Jupiter was transiting through my 4th house, which is like my home, my family life, my private inner world. my roots, my living situation, things like that. So when Jupiter was transiting through my 4th house, I got married. So that was a huge blessing. I have a happy domestic life. I also switched my visa type to a spouse visa, which is a lot more secure than the one I had before. So my living situation became very stable and blessed, and my domestic life became very happy. And, you know, my family was so happy, my parents, to welcome this new family member. So yeah, that was definitely objectively a blessing. But then there were also things that just got magnified in that area of my life. So I started thinking more about my roots and my home, and I started missing my family in Canada. I started wanting to be close to them and thinking about them a lot more. I started thinking more about my long-term living situation, where I want to be based in the long-term future, like where I want to put my roots. Family lore and family issues, if you will, started coming to the surface. So there was just a lot to consider there. You know, Jupiter is not always like, wee, blessings, good luck all the time. Sometimes it's just kind of making whatever is there bigger, more noticeable, more heavy. So whatever house Jupiter is passing through for you is the area of life that is going to be magnified, that more focus is going to be brought to, that maybe taking up more of your time and energy and consideration, and also any Leo placements that you have. They could be magnified throughout this whole transit, but especially when Jupiter is passing over them, like conjuncting, whatever, conjunct your Leo placements. So for example, one of the placements I have in Leo is Mars. So when Jupiter is passing over my Mars, I could notice a big boost in my motivation, in my drive, in my energy, in my will to get shit done. And this is happening in my 5th house. So I do believe that this energy will be channeled towards my creative endeavors, hobbies, anything that brings me joy, that is fun for me, that I'm passionate about. Hopefully it doesn't make me an asshole, because, you know, Mars is the warrior, let's just say that. But no, I'm sure it'll be fine. Of course, like if Jupiter is making a challenging aspect to something in your birth chart, then the growth that it brings might not be so pleasant. But in general, in the collective, we will feel this as an auspicious transit. Also, another thing I want to add is that when Jupiter is transiting through Leo, it has to answer to your sun sign. It's kind of like Jupiter in Leo is going to be flavored by your sun sign, or has to kind of play by the rules of your sun sign. To use myself as an example, it is answering to my Aries sun in the 12th house. So I'm guessing that I'm probably going to get quite bold with my creative expression, and the more I create, the more my the more like my subconscious is gonna jump out, and maybe you can see my inner work and the spiritual journey that I've been through what I'm creating. I'm gonna have to not dilly-dally when creative ideas come to me. Like, I just gotta go for it and believe in it and full send it, because that Jupiter is gonna be flavored by my Aries sun. And in the year of the fire horse too, damn. Let me know what your sun sign is. So Jupiter is in the sign of Leo. During this year, I think a lot of us will feel called to express ourselves more boldly, to let ourselves shine, or be in the spotlight, or just be seen, to let ourselves be the main character, recognize our role as the main character in our own life. Some of us may be called to embrace leadership, be a leader, which includes leading by example and inspiring others. Some of us will feel called to like stand up and stand for something. I just wanted to kind of expand on this leader message. I do think that a lot of us are going to be reflecting on how can I be a leader, or how can I lead by example? How can I inspire others on an individual level? But I also think that on a collective level, we may be kind of feeling like we need new leaders, because Leo is the king. The king rules over the collective. And I feel like we may be collectively reflecting on who do we want to lead us? What individuals or what type of person do we want to lead us? In Jupiter's previous transit through the sign of Cancer, I feel like there we were reflecting on what is really worth nurturing and what is worth protecting in my life, or in the world. And now with Jupiter in Leo, the question is, who do I need to be in order to protect that? Who do I need to be in order to protect the version of me I want to become, or the version of the world I want to see? And what natural strengths and gifts do I already have that will allow me to do that? And kind of jumping forward, the next Jupiter transit is going to be in the sign of Virgo, which is focused on service. So I think we would benefit a lot if during this year-long transit, we're really getting to know ourselves. Like, who am I? What are my strengths? What example do I want to be in the world? How do I want to inspire others? Like, just really getting clear about who we are and what makes us amazing, wonderful people. Because when Jupiter goes into Virgo, then he's going to ask us, like, okay, now put that into practice and start helping people with your amazing qualities and with your gifts. Leo is ruled by the sun, which is our identity and our personal expression. So, and it's also like being proud of who we are and owning it. So I feel like a lot of us are going to own our personal wisdom. We could be gaining a higher perspective on who we really are as a human, but also as a soul, because the sun is like the soul, the spirit. It's what you're here to express. So we're going to own that and we're going to show it proudly. And there is actually a tarot card that is related to Jupiter in Leo, and that is the Six of Wands, which is just beautiful. This is a sign that we can have major victories during this transit if we are confident, if we believe in ourselves and believe in what we have to offer and allow ourselves to be seen. We can have victories and achieve amazing things. Now, one thing I will say, because every energy needs to be balanced, when Leo and Sun and even Six of Wands energy goes too far, it can sort of go from confidence into this kind of egotistical, maybe even cocky kind of energy. So you may see some individuals around you who are kind of getting an inflated ego. There may be a little bit more of that is rubbing you the wrong way during this transit. And Leo being ruled by the sun is visibility. It's things being brought to the forefront or being exposed. And I feel like during this transit, people's true characters could be exposed, like for better or for worse. So if you have been like a really good person doing really good deeds behind the scenes, then this could be a time where your efforts are being pushed to the forefront. They're becoming visible to everyone. They're being recognized. And so you will be appreciated or celebrated for these good deeds. But on the other hand, if someone has been a shitty person behind the scenes, they have bad intentions, or they have like some hidden agenda, they're secretly a bad person, that could also be super magnified. And I feel like saying right now, we might see this particularly with like public figures or celebrities or people in power, because that's kind of Leo energy. Oh, and I wrote a note here. I feel like the Jupiter in Leo energy could have a little bit of, like when you're passing a note in class and the teacher's like, why don't you share that with the whole class? And then you have to like stand up and read your note to the whole class. And, if you didn't write anything bad in that note, then you have nothing to worry about. Maybe you stand up and read to the class. Oh, I love our teacher so much. The teacher looks beautiful today and I just love everybody in this class and I'm so grateful to learn. Then you're gonna melt everyone's heart. But if you get exposed sharing a nasty note, then you have something to worry about. So just make sure in your heart of hearts, you know that your intentions are good, your intentions are pure, and what you have to share is something good. Of course, that's not me saying you have to like expose everything about yourself, but this could be like a time where people's true colors are really shown. I also think we're gonna see a boost in creativity. People are expressing themselves more boldly. People are showing off their individuality. It feels very colorful. It feels very interesting. Okay, I want to talk about the major aspects that Jupiter is going to be making during this transit. I just focused on the outer planets and the nodes. I'm going to use some cards and dice for this. The first thing I want to talk about is in mid-July of 2026. Jupiter in Leo is going to be opposite Pluto in Aquarius, and is also going to be sextiling Uranus in Gemini. I'm gonna place the dice here. So here's Uranus in Gemini, chilling over here, and then we have Pluto in Aquarius up here, and then we have, where's my Jupiter? Yeah, Jupiter in Leo here. That says Taurus. Okay, here we go. Jupiter in Leo right here. So this is right at the beginning of Jupiter's transit through Leo. So I feel like this is kind of setting the tone. Now, Pluto in Aquarius has been there for a while. It's going to be there for a long time. But there is a theme with Pluto in Aquarius of people or systems in power that don't benefit the collective, or that are actively harmful to the collective, falling apart. And with Jupiter in Leo opposing Pluto, I think there's gonna be like one or multiple big important people getting exposed in some way, like leaders, world leaders, or public figures or influential people could be kind of getting exposed, and some people will be having like a fall from grace, I think is the expression. Especially because Uranus in Gemini is forming as exile to Jupiter. I think like maybe some scandalous information could come out. Something's kind of coming out of left field. It could be quite shocking to some people. And I also wrote here, we are decentering our tech overlords. I think that's going to happen here as well. Like a lot of the ways that we internally judge and surveil ourselves and our expression, like it comes from the standards that they set, the people and the organizations in power. We internalize it and we surveil ourselves and we judge ourselves and censor ourselves. And I think because of social media, people are so afraid of being cringe nowadays, and we're just like forcing ourselves to be so cookie cutter in order to please the algorithms. And I feel like Jupiter in Leo opposing Pluto in Aquarius, because there's like a power struggle with opposition. I feel like Jupiter opposing Pluto is like a big middle finger to that. Like we can reclaim our identities. We can reclaim our creativity. With the Uranus sextile, we may be really feeling like to be cringe is to be free and celebrating what makes us weird or unique. I think that a lot of us could be overcoming a fear of saying the wrong thing, like we're gonna get censored or punished or shunned if we say the wrong thing. I think we're gonna start valuing authenticity more and more, and valuing people who express themselves boldly and bravely. I also wrote as a note, people who are just recycling old ideas without adding their own personal essence or adding something unique will likely not be celebrated during this time. Because I think there's going to be a lot more of like, I don't want to see your perfect curated image. I want to see you as a person. I want to see your humanness. Like, I feel like that's very Leo, the light and the warmth of the individual person shining through. Yeah, so these are the tarot archetypes that are being activated in this aspect. Jupiter is going to be in the first decan. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, because I'm going to pronounce it like that for the whole video. Jupiter is going to be in the first decan of Leo, which the tarot equivalent of that is the Five of Wands. And Pluto is going to be in the first decan of Aquarius, which is the Five of Swords. Meanwhile, Uranus is going to be in the first decan of Gemini, which is the Eight of Swords. So I do feel like this is going to be a tense time. Like I said, there's a bit of a power struggle here between the people and the overlords, but ultimately we will win the fight against narratives that oppress us, both internally and externally. Like, we're no longer going to hold ourselves back. We're no longer going to make ourselves smaller. So that is one aspect that we're going to see happening in mid-July. The next one is in, oh, it happens twice, the next one, but this is a good one. So we are going to have Jupiter in Leo forming a trine with Saturn in Aries. And this is going to happen twice. The first time is in early September of 2026, and the second time is in early April of 2027. But the second time it happens, Jupiter is going to be retrograde, so the vibe is a little bit different. But yeah, this trine is lovely. This is very exciting because for the tarot archetypes here, Jupiter is in the second decan of Leo, which is the Six of Wands, and Saturn is in the second decan of Aries, the Three of Wands. So this is like victory, expansion, doors opening, opportunities coming in. The Jupiter-Saturn trine to me feels like hard work and discipline is paying off. Efforts are being recognized. You're truly feeling like your efforts were worth it. The energy coming through here is like, for example, let's say you're working with a client. You did an excellent job for your client. You did everything they asked for. You delivered high quality work. And then in return, they pay you a very large fee, which is equivalent to the quality of the work you did. And then you also get a huge tip on top of that. I feel like with Jupiter trining Saturn, you know, Saturn's gonna come and reward us for our hard work. And it's like, oh, Saturn's feeling a little bit generous today. You know, it's like, oh, my strict parent is letting us eat McDonald's tonight. It's like, I don't know why I just said that, but it's that kind of vibe, okay? Like, I feel like usually Saturn would come in and be all, you know, serious faced and be like, very good, here is your reward, and then walk away. Now maybe he's coming in, he's cracking jokes, he's got a little smile on his face, he's feeling good. He gives you your reward and he gives you a little bit extra. That's how I feel about this transit. So you're getting the payoff you deserve with a bonus. If you are putting in hard work right now, this is likely where you will start to see the results in early September with this trine. I'm coming back because I noticed something when I was double checking the ephemeris. The first time this happens in early September, and actually it could be happening in late August as well. Saturn is going to be retrograde, which kind of gives it a different flavor. There's a couple different interpretations that are coming to my mind, and these are entirely intuitive, so this may not resonate for everyone. But the first thing that came to my mind is that you are receiving payoff for previous efforts. The way Saturn is retrograding, moving backwards, it's almost as if Saturn missed these efforts the first time, and he's like, oh, I forgot to give you your payoff for this. And then he like backtracks and comes and gives you the reward. So that could be how it's happening for some of you. And then the other thing I noticed is that Mars in Cancer is going to be forming a square to Saturn. during this time. Now, Mars represents our will, power, our motivation, our drive, and Cancer is ruled by the moon. Cancer ebbs and flows with the tides and has fluctuations and is emotional. And so I feel like when Mars is in Cancer, we're probably not working towards something with this consistent linear drive. It's probably up and down like this. We're tuned into our emotions, we're tuned into our energy levels, and we're like, you know, I'm gonna work on this when I feel like it. Or maybe we're tuned into our intuition and we're like, no, I'm just gonna work on this when I sense it's the right time. Kind of going with your gut rather than forcing yourself to just charge forward consistently. And you know, that is not very compatible with because we live in a society and we have a certain way of viewing like what efforts get to be valuable, what efforts get to be meaningful and impressive. And we often think that in order to succeed and in order to get the payoff we want, we have to just charge forward constantly and grind all the time. And so in this case, the square to Saturn might be like this part of you that is judging yourself for how you show up and work towards your goals and feels like it's not enough, like I should be charging ahead all the time. But Saturn's in retrograde. Saturn is making revisions. Saturn saying, no, this kind of effort is good too. So you could be kind of reviewing harsh judgments that you've placed upon yourself. You know, like, I don't have enough willpower, I don't want it enough, I'm not working hard enough, I'm not showing up consistently enough, like, I don't have the drive, I don't have the direction, like, I'm just doing whatever I feel like. But this transit is saying, well, actually, maybe that's enough. Maybe that's a good thing. You know, Cancer energy is the Chariot, and the Chariot does succeed and get shit done, but while honoring your gut and honoring your emotions. So some of you, when you receive this payoff, you could be feeling like, like, you may be feeling like you don't deserve it for the kind of effort you were putting in, and Saturn's saying like, no, it was enough. In fact, it was more than enough. I'm gonna give you the payoff for this and more. And then the second time this happens is in early April of 2027. This time Jupiter is going to be retrograde. So you are going to receive another payoff at this time, but the payoff will likely be something that is more internal rather than external. So for you individually, which of your efforts are going to be rewarded and where you're going to see those rewards coming in your life will depend on which houses these planets are in. So I'll just give an example of how someone might experience these two events. So let's say that this Saturn in Aries is in your 10th house, and let's say that Jupiter in Leo is in your 2nd house. Then the efforts that are going to be paying off for you are efforts that you have made towards your career, your long-term professional goals, building your public image or building your reputation or building like your business or your vision. Those efforts are going to pay off, and where you will see the reward coming in is in your 2nd house. So basically money. You will be rewarded with money for your professional efforts, for the reputation that you've built, for the good public relations that you've built. You will get rewarded with money. So that's the first time when Jupiter is direct. The second time this happens in early April 2027, for this individual, the second time this trine happens, the reward they're getting is just going to be more of an internal thing. So, you know, maybe the first time it was money coming in, and the second time the payoff is more like increased confidence, increased self-worth, because that's a second house theme as well. Both are good, but the first time it's more of an external reward, and the second time it's more of an internal reward. I hope that makes sense. I lied. This transit is actually happening 3 times. So the Jupiter-Saturn trine is happening one last time in the beginning of July, right before Jupiter finally leaves Leo and will enter into the sign of Virgo. And I should have known it was going to happen 3 times, because generally when retrogrades are involved in these kinds of aspects, it will happen 3 times. Like it crosses over and then it returns and then it crosses over again. And each time it happens, we integrate the message more. And so I feel like this 3rd time the Jupiter-Saturn trine is happening is when we fully embody its message. Like it goes from being this one-time external occurrence to something that is now part of our being, because there's a difference between, oh, the universe rewarded me this one time, or like this success happened to me, versus I am a successful person. I am a person who creates results. I believe in my hard work. I believe that my hard work is worth it. Here, I feel like we're really owning it and embodying it when this happens again in the beginning of July. And I'm hearing like it's a lot easier to get up and start putting in work towards your goals and dreams when you truly believe in yourself and you truly believe in the value of what you're creating and you truly believe in your ability to help others. The tarot archetypes here are going to be the 7 of Wands, with Jupiter being in the 3rd decan of Leo, and the 4 of Wands, with Saturn being in the 3rd decan of Aries. So literally, this is like my dreams are worth the effort. And I just saw 222 when I said that. My dreams are worth the effort. If I work hard, my dreams will come true. I think this is going to be something that collectively we have the opportunity to really like embed in our being and start really operating from that place. And shortly after this, Jupiter is going to enter into Virgo at the end of July 2027. So like I mentioned previously, I think this is going to be a time where Jupiter says like, okay, you've integrated your lessons, you're owning your strengths, you're owning your personal expression, you're owning your ability to inspire and uplift others. Now let's put it to practice. Now let's serve the collective with our gifts. And that could be quite difficult to do if you haven't internalized this message of believing in yourself and believing in the power of your efforts. Like it will come time to help the collective and you're like, yeah, but I can't. Like I don't have anything to offer. My work isn't good enough. So I think this transit happening 3 times is really going to help bring that message home. Like, yes, you can. Yes, it is worth it. Yes, you do have a dream and a goal that's worth fighting for. Yes, you do have something to offer to the collective. And yes, the way you are working towards it is good enough. Doesn't have to be a constant grind. You just have to show up with heart and with passion. That's all the collective can ask of you. And yeah, that's enough. Okay, and then this is the last aspect I want to talk about, and this is probably going to be the longest one. I have a lot of notes on this one. So this one's also happening twice, and it's Jupiter in Leo, of course, conjunct the South Node. And that is going to be opposing the North Node in Aquarius. So the first time this happens is going to be in mid-November of 2026. The second time is going to be late February of 2027. And again, the second time it happens, Jupiter is going to be retrograde, so the vibe is going to be a little bit different. I just kind of want to talk about the North and South Node. I've definitely talked about this before, but North Node represents where we're headed. And in Western astrology, it's often talked about as like our purpose, our destiny. It's like where we're meant to go. And it can definitely be that, But the North Node can also be this kind of obsessive energy, like where we start blindly chasing the energy of the sign or the house it's in, which can lead to our detriment. So the ideal situation is not always like we're moving away from the South Node and towards the North Node, but it's more so that the North and South nodes are balancing each other out. I like to think of the North Node like a gas pedal and the South Node like a brake pedal, and you need both to drive a car. Like, if you only have the South Node energy, your car is not going to get anywhere. And if you only have North Node energy, your car is going to crash. So they need to balance each other. And I think with the nodes now being in Leo and Aquarius, with this Leo-Aquarius duality, we're going to be reflecting on the individual versus the collective. And I also think the human versus the machine. Because Aquarius energy, it's the future, it's innovation, it's tech. I feel like it's, things becoming ubiquitous in the collective. And Leo is the individual. It's the soul in things. It's the creativity. It's the personal touch in things. So when these two energies are in harmony, we see technological and societal advancements that uplift and support our creativity and our individuality. And I wrote Spotify as an example, and let me be clear. Spotify, how it actually exists, is trash, but it was a nice premise to start off with. I am under no illusion that the CEO started it with good intentions, but just think of the premise of Spotify for this example. Like, the idea that there's a platform where anyone can share their music, so artists don't have to go through major labels in order to get discovered. They can take charge of how they express themselves and how they get discovered and who they connect with. Like, that premise is a nice example of an Aquarius Leo balance, I feel, because the tech complements the creativity. But what actually ended up happening is they took that platform and pumped it full of fake artists and bots and AI slop and an algorithm that favors 90-second songs with the hook in the first 3 seconds. Like, it completely defeated the good premise behind it. And the fact that Jupiter here is going to be on the South Node during this transit, I feel like he's pulling us back into the Leo energy, because Jupiter, again, like magnifies or brings more focus there. So I feel like Jupiter is coming in and saying like, hey guys, we need a little bit more Leo here on this axis, because we are out of balance. Like, as a collective, we are leaning too heavily into the Aquarius energy right now. And you can see the machine is erasing the human. We see this in algorithms rotting our brains, pushing the same content to everyone. So we adopt the same trends, the same way of speaking, the same mannerisms, the same aesthetics, the same interests, the same opinions. We see people using filters to all achieve the same face. We see people squashing their creativity, their personal creativity, to please the apps. And also, machines are quite literally replacing humans in the workforce, in media, in the arts. And I think we're all collectively getting sick of this. And this transit is going to be like a moment of culmination. With Jupiter being conjunct the South Node in Leo, it feels like we're saying like, no, we don't want more advancement just for the sake of advancement. We don't want to head in this direction. Let's go a little bit back to how it was before. And the tarot archetypes here are Jupiter and the South Node in the third decan of Leo, which is the Seven of Wands, and the North Node in Aquarius, in the third decan of Aquarius, which is the Seven of Swords. This is so funny to me because it's like the Seven of Swords energy is trying to lie to us or manipulate us. First of all, into thinking like, oh, this is the future, this is inevitable. Man, you know what this energy reminds me of? I don't know if you've seen the clips of, like, I don't even know, business people at graduation ceremonies, and they're giving a speech and they're like, AI is the future, and all the students start booing. I feel like that's what this is. Like, the Seven of Swords is trying to be like, no, trust me, bro, like, this is the future, this is innovation, this is genius. And we're all like, no, like, we don't want this. No one wants this. It's like the last ditch effort to try to convince us that no, this is actually a good thing and we are not having it. Like, we could see, I mean, we already do see this, but we could be seeing people in power trying to whitewash their practices or whitewash their business ventures to try to get us on board with it. And we're just like, no, we're just rejecting it. So yeah, I think we're going to see people rejecting some technological advancements. We could also be seeing people rejecting like the perfect curation and perfect optimization that you get from working with machines, and just preferring something that is more imperfect, because that's human. Like, we're craving the humanness of Leo. We want to see people's personal magic shine through. I do wonder if we'll see a drop in the use of filters, the use of retouching, and even things like auto-tune. I wrote that as a note. I feel like we're gonna prefer reading things with spelling errors and like run-on sentences and tangents, because we know a human made it. And it's so endearing to know, like, I'm interacting with a person right now and I'm seeing their personality coming through. Now, another note I made, because remember, balance is important. We also have to be careful about going too far in the Leo direction, because, like we mentioned before, the shadow side of Leo can be kind of egotistical. So we have to be careful not to end up like, you know, rejecting this stuff to the point that it becomes part of our ego. Like for example, being like, oh, you tune your vocals? You're not a real singer. Like, I don't tune my vocals. I am so much better than you. Or like, oh, you do Pilates like everyone on social media. That's so basic. Like, I don't follow trends. I'm so unique. Like, I just do my own thing. Like, you're just a sheep, you know? Like, we have to be careful about that too, because I feel like that is kind of like the toxic side of Leo. Like, look how special and unique I am. We don't really want to get into that territory. So the balance is key. But yeah, I feel like we are going to be embracing just like real, human, imperfect creativity, imperfect forms of self-expression, and where we really see people's uniqueness and true colors coming through. So yeah, like I said, this is going to happen twice. The first time is in mid-November of 2026, and then the second time it happens is in late February of 2027. And the second time it happens, Jupiter is going to be retrograde. So this time it may feel more like a moment of personal reflection rather than an outward event. So for example, the first time this happens, when Jupiter is direct, we may see this energy manifest as some kind of protest or social movement, you know, outside events in the world. Whereas the second time it happens, maybe you're just reflecting about what it is that you oppose when it comes to the direction humanity seems to be headed in. And you're reflecting on how you can be discerning about which advancements you implement into your life, and reflect on how you can keep living authentically and keep being yourself and not blindly bend to how society may be trying to influence you. Okay, I'm back, and it's been like several days. I just keep thinking about this stuff when my mind is idle, and then new ideas and new thoughts are coming in. But anyway, I was just thinking more about the Leo energy, and something else this could be highlighting is people's likeness, people's image. And while the Leo energy feels very, my likeness belongs to me, the Aquarius energy feels like my likeness belongs to everyone. And it was kind of making me think of, you know, if you go on YouTube, you'll see people making AI covers using, you know, famous artists that actually exist. That is maybe a less nefarious example of my likeness belongs to everyone. There's definitely a lot worse things happening there, but it's almost like our identity and our likeness is getting uploaded to the cloud. Anyone can see it, anyone can use it. That's kind of like the future we seem to be moving towards, which is very scary. And I think with this aspect here, you know, someone could mess with a notable person, someone could be just messing with the wrong person, or someone has messed with too many people using their likeness or image or intellectual property in certain ways, and people could be experiencing loss because of this. And I think that with Mars joining in with Jupiter and the South Node here, there could be some kind of harsh retaliation. And it may take a while for something good to come from that. I do think it can lead to something good, like we can change regulations, we can change the direction we're moving in, but I do think that this aspect is going to be like the culmination of this imbalance. And I do think that there could be some leader or powerful person who is being defeated, because the South Node can talk about loss or decrease, and we have like Jupiter in Leo right there. I'm thinking of like an arrogant leader, and you know, this could be a number of people. It could be a country's leader, it could be like a CEO, I don't know, but it is giving me the vibe of someone getting defeated by their own ego. Like, I don't know how to say it, but it's like their ego got so big that they ate themselves. I don't know how to say that. Falling because they got too cocky. They were doing too much. So yeah, I think it's gonna be kind of intense. How this transit will affect you personally, the North Node is gonna represent the direction that it feels like life has been trying to make you go. Whereas the South Node is gonna feel like where you're coming from, where you've been, sort of your comfort zone. I'm gonna put up the house keywords again so you can figure out which house it's in for you and maybe think about what might be going on there. Wherever it is for you, they are gonna be in opposite houses. So maybe you can think about like what balancing those two energies means for you. But when Jupiter approaches the South Node, it's like you have the scales with the North Node and the South Node, and Jupiter's putting a heavy ass weight on the South Node. So let's say, for example, when this transit happens, the North Node is in your 6th house and the South Node is in your 12th house. Maybe you feel like life has been calling you to get healthy, to quit bad habits, to start good habits, and start thinking about setting up a good routine, setting up a good schedule, getting shit done so you can serve the collective. So in this example, you may feel like you're being pulled back to the 12th house. You need to spend some time there. You need to focus on it. Now, how you feel about that is going to depend on other things going on in your chart and just where you're at energetically. The person in this example could feel like, damn it, like, I just want to start building my habits. I just want to start building my new life. And I feel like I have to do all this shadow work again. I feel like I'm getting called back to the astral plane to talk to my inner child and my ancestors and my spirit guides about this thing that happened in my past life and these limiting beliefs. And it's like, I just want to be waking up at 5 a.m. and going for my jog and taking my adaptogens. So some of you could be frustrated by this Jupiter emphasis, but for others of you, it could be welcome. Like, you could be like, fuck the 6th house. Like, I've put too much importance on having a perfect routine and perfect health and always having my shit together, and I'm tired of this. I just want to sleep and I just want to daydream and I want to visualize. I want to spend time with my higher self. I want to pull my cards. Like, I want to go back to that. I'm tired of being so regimented. So yeah, how you feel this is really, it's going to vary from person to person, but I really do see it as like the North Node and South Node are on either side of a scale. And Jupiter was like, this side is too light, and put a heavy weight so that the South Node and North Node can be balanced again. Okay, so that's everything for the Astro Talk. I hope that was easy to follow. I was yapping quite a bit. Let me know if you have anything to add or any questions, or if you are a more advanced astrologer and you would like to clarify or edit something, please feel free to do so. And yeah, thank you for listening to that. And I'm sending you so much love. And now let's go to the pick a cards. I'm going to go ahead and get started with number 1. Hi, number 1s. So if you guys chose the Caribbean Calcite, this is going to be your reading. So you guys have an extra oracle card. I found this one on the floor. This is not a deck that we're using today, but we did use it in the previous reading, which is probably why it was on the floor. But nobody got this card last time. It's the human experience with number 16. Understand that you grow through what you go through. These lessons are vital in the expansion of your soul in order to ascend. So I think during this Jupiter transit, what is going to be growing in your life is quite literally you. I think during this year-long transit, you are going to experience a lot of personal growth. And actually, I think a more accurate way to say that is that you already have grown a lot. And during this next year, you are going to be really noticing that. There's going to be a lot of opportunities for you to see, like, oh, a previous version of me would have behaved differently in this situation. A previous version of me would have been thinking differently about this. Wow, like I've grown so much. I've evolved so much. I think there's going to be a lot of opportunities to be proud of yourself and proud of the person you're becoming. With the human experience here as well, you could have a heightened sense of gratitude for just being here. I think you could be romanticizing your life more, appreciating the small things, and just appreciating every little moment. Because another thing I'm noticing is that this card is number 16. That's the number of the Tower. So you could really have this mindset like, I'm never going to be in this moment again. I'm never going to be in this era again. Like someday, this period of my life is going to be over. So I'm going to cherish it right now. I see you being a lot more present, a lot more in an energy of gratitude and just enjoying every day and understanding that every experience is leading to your growth. That doesn't mean you have to like everything you go through or be grateful for everything you go through. But I don't know. It just seems like you're very grateful to be here. Like, I wonder if some of you are Leo risings and like the Jupiter transit's happening in your first house. Or you could be like a Sag or Pisces rising, like you're ruled by Jupiter in the first place. You don't have to be. That could just be confirmation for some of you. But anyway, I just thought that was a really nice little message to start. So let's look at these oracle cards to see what is going on for you during this transit of Jupiter in the sign of Leo. We have balance. I bring a state of perfect harmony into my world, and I do so without judgment. We have rhodochrosite. And we have energy. Yeah, I'm really wondering if like your rising or your first house is implicated somewhere here, because I feel like you're gonna have a lot more personal energy and vitality and zest for life during this transit. With rhodochrosite here, I definitely feel like there's a new love coming into your life, or a love that is growing, a place, path, person, community that you are extremely passionate about and that you feel motivated to pursue or motivated to contribute to. It's like, I want to use my energy to pursue this love, or I want to use my energy to feed this love. I want to give this love more energy to grow in my life. And as something you love is growing, you may find that there's a need to balance the different areas of your life more, to reevaluate and rebalance your priorities. Jupiter does bring growth, but if something is growing in your life, then something else must shrink in order to accommodate the new growth. Otherwise, you are going to be overwhelmed. You're going to be running over capacity. So, this is a blessing, because it's like, oh my gosh, I love this so much. I want this to take up more time in my life. But that means that other things have to take up less time. So what is it that I'm going to cut away? Now, I do think you're going to have more physical energy than usual during this transit, but still, we all have our limits of what we're capable of. And I'm also wondering if, for example, you have more mental energy than physical, or you have more physical energy than mental. And you have to, how do I say that? You have to operate at the capacity of your lowest energy so that you don't exhaust yourself. So maybe you have a ton of mental energy during this transit, and then you get carried away with it, and then, oops, I exhausted my body, or the other way around. So, be careful not to get carried away in excitement and overuse your energy. Like, be careful not to overcook yourself. You could be getting into flow states a lot and then forget that you haven't taken a break, that you haven't taken time to recharge, that you need to sleep, that you need to fuel yourself, that you need to let your mind rest. You could get so passionate about something, you just kind of lose track of time. And even if in the moment you're like, I don't need to take a break, I'm in the flow, I'm loving this, it still is expending energy. So yes, it's going to be boosted, but just remember that it's not unlimited. And even things that you love and things that you're passionate about, you do need to take a break and rest from them. Oh, you're really excited about something. There's maybe a new venture, a new project or hobby or a new connection or community that you're just really, really excited about. And the energy costs are high, but you have it. Okay, so let's take a look at some tarot to see what is happening. We have the Knight of Pentacles. Okay, that's definitely making me think, pace yourself. The growth is beautiful. We just don't want the growth to get carried away. You have to grow something gradually to let yourself adapt. You might get this strong urge, I want to completely change my routine. I want to completely change my schedule. I want to do a 180. And you may not need to do that, and that may not be the most beneficial thing to do. If you are making major changes to your lifestyle, reevaluating your goals, I think it will be best if things are adjusted gradually, because it could be a shock to your system. It could literally be a shock to your nervous system. For example, if you wake up at 10 a.m. every morning and then you're like, I'm going to start waking up at 5 a.m. That may be a bit too big of a change at once. Or, when you are exercising, you should increase your load week by week gradually, otherwise you're going to get injured. So I know you're excited, I know you're passionate, and that's a good thing, but we want to grow in a sustainable way. You don't need to be feeling external pressure either to grow more faster. Like some of you may feel you're behind, like you're behind schedule, you're behind where you thought you would be by this point. So you're like feeling really motivated to make huge leaps in a short time. I just feel like you don't need to do that. Don't let this newfound energy burn out. It's okay to make these changes slowly, and you are not behind. At some point in Jupiter's transit, it could be interacting with your natal Mars. You could feel kind of antsy or restless sometimes. I think a really good affirmation for my group ones during this transit is like, I'm not behind. I'm not behind. I'm right on time. I'm exactly where I need to be. And also, slow and steady wins the race. I feel that too. Some of you could also be, like, I feel a lot of enthusiasm and wanting to engage with your community and engage in your desired field, your desired spaces. Some of you may also deal with a little bit of FOMO sometimes, because it's like you can't say yes. You have a lot of opportunities coming your way, but you can't say yes to all of them. And just know that if a certain thing doesn't pan out, or if you have to say no to something, you're not missing out. There's going to be a million opportunities coming for you in the future. And if you were meant to have something, it's not going to give up after one try. Like if something's meant for you and then for whatever reason it falls through or you have to say no to it, it's going to come back. Like whatever is meant for you is determined to be in your life. So just don't worry about missing anything. It's almost like you're going through this period of heightened energy, opportunities coming in, good luck, and you're like, oh, okay. This is what it is. This is what your guides want me to highlight. There's a difference between this era is not going to last forever, so I should cherish every moment, and this era is not going to last forever, so I have to hurry up and reap everything I can, otherwise it's going to be over and I'm going to have missed out on so many things. Like, there's a difference, and you might sometimes fall into that, like, okay, I'm getting kind of worked up and feeling like I need to reap all of these opportunities while they're still here because they're going to go away. They're going to be here for much longer than you think. You have more time than you need to experience everything that you want. The success that you're experiencing now, I feel like was a long time coming. So it's not just going to fizzle out just because you said no to one opportunity or just because one opportunity didn't work out. The opportunities are plentiful. This will be a lot harder to mess up than a part of your brain might tell you. We have the Five of Cups. Well, I feel like I just said that whole message. So I don't know if I'm gonna reiterate too much with this Five of Cups, but I feel like that was very much the message I just channeled about, like, you don't have to worry about losing out on something. You don't have to be afraid of missing some opportunity. There's still more than enough that is making its way to you. But there could be a message there in that, like, I was just talking about something and then it appeared. Like that whole thing I was saying just now was very Five of Cups coded, and then the Five of Cups appeared. So I wonder if in the next year you're going to be experiencing crazy synchronicities like that. Like, this is just one example, but imagine you're in a coffee shop and you're talking to your friend about, I don't know, an old crush of yours, and then that person walks in. Be careful what you're speaking about. Maybe you're speaking things into existence. But no, I feel like that could definitely be happening where, or maybe this has been happening to me a lot recently, where I'll dream about something and then it happens the next day. So you could be speaking things into existence, or you're picking up on future events intuitively before they happen. They're already on your mind. They're already in your conversations. And then it's like, speak of the devil, there it is. Yeah, you can't commit to everything, and that's okay. And if you have to decrease something in your life to make room for this love that is growing, that's okay. Doesn't mean that you stopped caring about that thing. It doesn't mean that you can never go back to it. You're just adjusting. You're just adjusting your priorities, and it can always be revisited. We have the Queen of Cups. There's a love that's really growing, and you're protecting it. There's something, and that's actually kind of beautiful, because it's like, whatever it is you're passionate about, it feels like, first of all, your reasons for being passionate about it are very personal. It could be something that your soul has chosen. Ooh, yeah. If you have a new love or a growing love, it's likely because it's something that your soul has an affinity towards. You may not really be able to fully explain why it is that you're drawn to it, but you just have a deep intuitive knowing, like, I'm meant to do this. Now, if you've been feeling nudges for a long time about what you're meant to pursue, and you haven't really been acting on it, I feel like those nudges are going to get bigger and bigger. Like, Jupiter could be growing those nudges, making that calling louder and louder. And it's like, okay, I can't ignore this anymore. Like, I have to pursue this love. I have to go down this path. I have to contribute in this space. I have to express myself in this space. Like, I have to. It's inevitable. And I feel like the way you've been growing and transforming for the past couple of years has been leading to this point of culmination where it's now like inevitable for you to step into your purpose. I'm hearing like there's no going back. And I know that sounds kind of ominous, but the direction you're going in is towards your greatest passion. There's this feeling of like, I can't go back to the life I had before. Like, I physically can't do that. This passion has become too loud in me. And that's your soul speaking to you. And this is definitely something that your soul has had a long time affinity towards. And I'm also hearing your soul saying, I'm sorry if this journey has been confusing sometimes. there's maybe just some things that don't translate in plain language, in plain text. There's some messages that your soul can only really give you through energy and through emotion, which is like hard to put in a language sometimes. Maybe not the best if you're looking for like, what do you call it, razor sharp precision and clarity. You just have to feel it and know that it's true. I also heard something like your soul communicates to you in colors. That could mean different things for different people. But yeah, that's just the message. Your soul communicates to you in colors. And there really is a feeling too that a lot of what you do, it's like you don't have to broadcast it. I feel like you're not the type of person to really broadcast your personal life. Maybe you don't like really post on social media that much, or just not about personal stuff, or it's kind of rare that someone gets a peek into your inner world and why you love the things you love and what you're working on. Maybe you're the type of person to show it once it's a finished product, or a finished result. But I feel like not a lot of people get to see the process or the inner workings. But there's something kind of sacred in that. Like, your pursuit of your passion is not a performance. It's just something that you feel compelled to do from within. And if nobody saw you doing this, if nobody congratulated you or recognized you or whatever, I feel like you would do it anyway, because you can't not. The passion of your soul is growing. That's definitely something that's growing in this transit. Oh, I wanted to look at the bottom of the deck, but I just started shuffling again. So let's get one more and then we can look at the bottom. We have the Ten of Pentacles, and at the bottom of the deck we have the Hanged Man. This makes so much sense, and I was actually thinking about this card because we were talking about you going like slow and steady, and I was thinking like, yeah, okay, you're building something that's meant to last. And I was just saying that in the last reading with the Ten of Pentacles. I forget what group it was, but I was just talking about this with the Ten of Pentacles recently. So I thought about this card and now it's here. Yeah, there's really something for this group about you talk about something and then it appears. So yeah, be mindful of what you're speaking because you might see it appear. And that's not meant to be a scary message. That's not me saying like, if you complain about something bad, then a bad thing is going to appear. But you could definitely be speaking prophecies into your life, speaking manifestations into existence. And then, yeah, we have the Hanged Man, which I feel like this could be kind of asking you to hold your horses and look at the bigger picture of something and focus on the long game. It's very clear that some passion and enthusiasm is growing very quickly and quite suddenly, and it could even be kind of overwhelming. And I understand if you have that urge of like, I must act on this right now. I don't know why I'm thinking of this right now, but an analogy that I was just shown is a TV show host. He's about to do the big reveal. You know, we're about to look at the results and announce the winner right after this break. And then it cuts to commercial and you're like, and I don't know, I just felt some energy like that because it's like emotionally you're feeling so excited and you're anticipating these big changes in your life and you're like, let's go, let's do it right now. And then the universe is like, right after this. And like, I don't know, you have to wait a little bit, or like life is moving slower than your mind. Or your body is moving faster than you can, and then you get burnt out. If the universe is trying to slow you down, or if the universe is trying to adjust your pace, I would say it is wise not to fight against it, because you could burn out. We don't want you hurting yourself. And also, like, there's no need to rush, because this beautiful, sweet passionate energy is going to be here for a long time. You don't need to rush and milk all of it now. Like, leave some for future you. We have time. We have time. This is making me emotional. I feel really emotional because I just feel like my group ones, like, you've been waiting for your moment. You've been waiting for your time. And now that it's here, after so long of it not being here, I can see why you'd be afraid of it slipping away. And like, if I don't make these big changes right now, the universe is going to think I'm not grateful, or that I must not really want it that much, or I'm going to run out of time and it's just going to come and go. There's like a wariness to it, you know? And I think these cards are just reminding you that you have time. And you can go slowly, you can go at your own pace, you don't have to exhaust yourself. In fact, maybe the universe likes your moderate approach, because that's protecting your energy. Okay, so finally, oh, these are upside down too. We're gonna look at these cards for any other advice for you. We have the sacred flow of yes with the number 30. We have tree rooted. Find harmony by planting your roots deep within the earth. And we have forget-me-nots. Why do I want to say someone hasn't forgotten about you? Someone hasn't moved on. Eternal memories. The best things in life are the people you've loved, the places you've seen, and the memories you've made along the way. I just want to tell you that whatever you choose to do is going to be the right thing. Whatever path you choose is going to be the right path. Wherever you put your energy, it becomes the right path. There was this sense of worry of, you know, what if I miss out on an opportunity and that was the one that was going to bring me to my breakthrough. But I think the universe is saying it doesn't really work like that. I've provided you with these multiple opportunities so that you can choose any one you want, anyone that feels right to you. And any path you choose is you saying yes to me. Any path you choose, any way you interact with me. I want to say any way you interact with my field. So maybe we're kind of visualizing the universe as a field of energy. Any way you interact with my field is you saying yes to me, because whatever path you go down, there I am, and I'm ready to work with you. So take the opportunity that feels right and don't worry about the rest. If you chose it, it's the right one. If you didn't choose it, then let it fly out of your awareness. And commit to that choice, root yourself in it, and then we can start working together to bring your blessings through that avenue. And just remember your own divinity. Remember that life is not like a pass or fail test. It's just being at play with the field. And your blessings have more than one way to reach you. Also, I just noticed that the scientific name for this has like the word Scorpio in it. I don't know how to pronounce that, but anyway, Scorpio energy could be significant for some of you. Okay, group one, so those are all the messages I have for you. Thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. And if you would like to find me elsewhere, I'm going to have linked down below my Instagram and my music channel, which has finally been updated after many months of not putting anything on it. I put a deadmau5 song that I remixed on there. And yeah, the intro song of this video is also an original song, so that's over there too. I will have that link down below. Thank you guys so much for supporting me, my channel, and anything I do. I really appreciate having you here, and I'm sending so much love to you, your higher self, your spirit guides, your spiritual team, and all of your loved ones, both here on Earth and in the other realms, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye! Hi number twos, so if you guys chose the Amethyst, this is going to be your reading. The first message for my group number twos. Right now we have your amethyst sphere placed on this larger rock, so it's not going to roll away. But when I was filming the intro, I needed something to hold it in place on top of the card so it wouldn't roll away. And I was like, man, I need a ring. That's usually what I put underneath to keep it in place, but I didn't have my usual crystal stand rings, so I just took off my wedding ring and I put it here and put the sphere on top to keep it in place. And I was like, maybe my group twos are getting married during this transit, or getting engaged, or meeting the person they're gonna marry. If that sort of romantic interpretation does not resonate with you, it could be that during this transit there is some sort of committed partnership that is happening. I'm hearing like legally binding, like maybe you are signing a contract to be in a business partnership with someone, or agreeing to live with someone, and you're signing a lease. Is that what it's called? You're signing a contract together. So some of you could have Jupiter transiting through your 7th house or your 8th house, or Jupiter could be making a favorable aspect to your 7th house or 8th house ruler. That's just a little bit of extra confirmation for some of you. But yeah, I was like, I'm not going to tell you until you chose your group that there's a wedding ring under here. But anyway, let's get into it. So we're going to start with these oracle cards to see the overall vibes of this transit for you. They're upside down again. We have friendship. That's beautiful. I understand that a friend is in my life for a reason. Okay, we're like 2 minutes in, and it seems that relationships, all kinds of partnerships actually, are going to be very blessed for you during this transit, whether that be romantic partnerships, friendships, business partnerships. You are really existing in harmony with the people around you and feeling very, very blessed for the people who have entered your life, and the people who have been there all along. We have Citrine, and we have growth. That is very literal because Jupiter is the planet of growth. Okay, yeah, I'm definitely getting like 7th house and 8th house energy from this group, because there is this feeling of you entering into a committed partnership, and as a result, both of you become more wealthy and more blessed. It's like a mutually beneficial partnership. Maybe there's some kind of joint venture or joint assets or a collaboration that is bringing success to both of you. I'm thinking about how, like, when two artists or two creators of any kind collaborate, they can sort of cross promote, you know, so this person's fan base or client base now is supporting this other person and vice versa, and so we both experience growth. Like, there's that kind of vibe going on here, and of course this could play out in a number of different ways, but it's like abundance through partnership, abundance through collaboration. I feel like that's going to be a big theme for you during this transit. Citrine was the crystal of group 3, so if you did happen to feel called to group 3, you may want to check out the messages there as well, but of course you don't have to. I just received a comment recently of someone being like, just because the reader tells you to listen to another group, it doesn't mean you have to. And I was like, bro, I say that every time. Like, you only have to go if you feel called to it, okay? But that might be a confirmation to check out group 3. So this is very like clear theme for my group 2s. You may also see a lot of your friends having glow-ups and having their dreams come true, and you can celebrate together. I'm sort of thinking of a 3 of Cups kind of energy, the 3 friends toasting and dancing in a circle. It feels like very celebratory vibes. A friend or a family member could be having a really big life milestone that you're celebrating, like getting married or an addition to the family. And there's also this feeling of you and all of your friends are thriving and abundant, and now you can do the things that you've always wanted to do together. So let's say, for example, you have a group of friends and you've been talking about this trip that you've always wanted to do, but it's expensive or like, yeah, it's just a lot to plan. And now it's like everybody's schedules are lining up. Everybody has the money to do it. It's like my friends and I can finally do what we've wanted to do. Any ideas that you've had that you can't execute because of a monetary aspect? I feel like during this Jupiter transit, the funding is going to come in for you to be able to do it. Some of you maybe have had an idea for a project that you want to do, but like the budget wasn't there. And Jupiter is saying, don't worry, like you'll get the budget. Those funds will come in. Yeah, anything monetary that's been like stopping you from starting what you've wanted to start or making changes that you've wanted to make. Jupiter's like, I got you. I got you and your friends and your loved ones. This is lovely. This is a lovely message. Okay. And yeah, for those of you who resonate with like meeting the person you're going to marry, they could be quite wealthy. If you're already in a relationship, your partner could be going through some kind of promotion or getting a really good new job. I think there's just a lot to celebrate. Oh, we're not even doing these yet. We're doing the tarot. I'm getting ahead of myself. That's so funny. I just looked up at the camera timer and I saw it was the birthday numbers of one of my best friends. So the thriving with my friends vibes are very strong here. Also, I'm probably taking this way too literally, and maybe this message is just for like one person, but if you have any sort of garden, whether that's flowers or vegetables or herbs, I feel like your garden is going to be flourishing in the next year. Your crops will be blessed. Your flowers will be blessed. For those of you who are public facing, if you have like a social platform, that following there could be really growing as well, which that could even lead to you making new friends. Finding a community of like-minded people is also a very strong possibility with this energy. Oh my gosh, you know what's so cool? You guys chose Amethyst, and the crystal card that you got is Citrine. And when you put those two together, it's Ametrine. Like, that's a crystal. There's a crystal called Ametrine. So there's just this vibe of like you and someone else coming together, blending your energies in some sort of collaboration, and you both greatly benefiting from it. Okay. So this card just fell into my lap, and it's the Ace of Cups. I love when cards fall into my lap because there's that expression, you know, it just fell into my lap, and it's like this manifested or came true effortlessly. And the Ace of Cups, it's your happiness, it's your joy, it's your emotional fulfillment. So I want to say that the things that you desire and the things that make you happy are going to come to you easily and effortlessly during this transit. I think one of the really big lessons that Jupiter wants to teach you during this transit is that your blessings can be easy. Your wishes can come true easily. Yes, there are some things in life that require hard work, but that is not a rule for every situation. You are allowed to experience what you want come to you in an easy and effortless way. And I think something else Jupiter wants to teach you is that we're stronger when we're together, because you're just really being blessed through partnerships during this time. And also, you can produce so much more results when you have an emotional investment. Some of you could have kind of unfairly identified yourself as unmotivated or like even lazy, or just your efforts are not powerful enough. But when your heart is really in something, the results that you can produce are crazy. And an example that's coming to my mind is someone trying to study for an exam, and the material is just not sticking in their head. And they're like, why can't I study this? Am I bad at studying? Am I not smart? And it's like, no, you just don't care. You just don't care about what you're studying. If you study about something that you genuinely find interesting and that you're genuinely really passionate about, your brain will become like a sponge and you can become so productive. And I think that's really going to be boosted during this transit. If you invest in something that you are really interested in, the results that you can produce during this time will be like doubled or tripled. Jupiter is really working overtime here. And Jupiter is giving you full permission. Like, choose whatever sounds the most fun to you. Choose whatever is the most interesting to you. You don't have to prove to anybody that you can slog through boring, mundane, hard stuff. That you don't have to do that. There's no glory in that. You can choose something that is genuinely pleasant for you. Come on, we have the Empress. Group 2, you guys are on a roll. So there's so much love in both of these cards. The Ace of Cups, it's literally a cup overflowing with, and I just saw 1144, 1144. What was I saying? It's literally a cup overflowing with love and emotion. And then the Empress is ruled by Venus. It's a card of unconditional love, nurturing. This is such a beautiful time for you. I wonder if Jupiter could be doing something nice with your natal Venus at some point during this transit, especially if you have Venus in a fire sign or an air sign. I want to say the number 13 or the number 31 could be significant for some of you, but yes, you are definitely basking in love during this transit. I think a lot of you are going to be finding new love. You or someone close to you could be becoming a parent, because that is one of the interpretations of the Empress. You could be falling in love, starting a new relationship, or entering into a new level of commitment in a relationship, and you will find that it's very harmonious. If you are single and you're manifesting a new person, this person is going to be incredibly affectionate. Like, they're definitely not stingy with showing their affection and showing their emotions, and they're very like dedicated to you, very devoted to you. You feel very chosen by this person. The Empress is also a very creative energy, and there's really something here about you seeing the magic of what you can do when your heart is really in something. A lot of my group 2s, it's like you've been judging yourself for what you're able to produce or what you're able to manifest in a situation where you haven't been nourished properly. And that's not fair. Your worth is not determined by your ability to contribute to something that doesn't give back to you in return. Your talents, your gifts, your productivity cannot be judged when you're working in something you don't care about, that your heart isn't in. And maybe that's just some of you who need to hear that message, but it's like you've been judging yourself kind of unfairly. The Star. I could not cherry pick nicer cards. That is crazy. And you know what's very interesting? The Star is Aquarius energy, and Aquarius is the 7th house from Leo. So, I mean, we have like 7th house energy, we have Venus energy. It's like, it's partnerships. And look at this, like, we have this cup that is overflowing, and then in the Star card, we have 2 overflowing cups. Like, you're really pouring your heart out, and then a counterpart is pouring their heart out right back to you. This may be a period where you are feeling seen, like truly seen by someone, more than ever before, and feeling truly chosen and prioritized and safe in a relationship. The Star feels like your wish coming true beyond your wildest dreams. For those of you who visualize or script for your manifestations, I have a feeling that you're going to manifest something that is like exactly what you wrote or exactly what you visualized, and then some, especially in the department of relationships and partnerships. There could be a hope that is being restored here, perhaps a hope in people, a hope in the existence of true love. Because the Star can talk about that renewal of hope after a tough time. So maybe some of my group 2s, you were really in this dark place of, you know, true love isn't real, my person isn't out there, people are actually selfish at heart, like they wouldn't have another's best interests at heart, just kind of pessimistic or wary about people and relationships and how people treat each other. And it's multiple people coming in to restore your hope in humanity, really, and the existence of true love. And these relationships are everything you could have asked for, everything you visualized in your most idealized daydreams. You know, even the Star sometimes has this feeling of it's too good to be true. So you could be, you know, meeting someone new, entering into a new relationship, or finding a community of friends, and you're like, literally pinch me. This person can't be real. These people can't be real. Some of you are allowing yourself to make plans for the future and be hopeful about it, as opposed to, well, this good thing is going to be taken away anyway, so what's the point of hoping for the future or planning for the future? You can start making future plans again with genuine excitement. And we have the 6 of Cups. Such a sweet energy. The 6 of Cups in the look what's at the bottom. I was literally talking about this card. The 3 of Cups, the friendship card. Crazy. There's a really, really consistent theme throughout this spread, I will tell you that. But yeah, there's a lot of feelings of safety and security. You're feeling held. Again, like with the Empress and the Six of Cups, it could be you or someone close to you who is welcoming a child. If you have siblings, maybe there's like a niece or a nephew who's going to be born, or like a friend. It could even be grandchildren, depending on your age. That's going to be different for everyone. But there's just like a sweetness and a restored hope and love that is entering your life at this time. And Six of Cups, this came out in a recent reading, and there was a feeling of being reminded of a simpler time or being reminded of a sweeter time. I think these are days that you're going to look back on very fondly. Six of Cups and the Star, that's also giving a strong feeling of like your soul family, your soul group coming into your life. The souls that you feel the most familiar and cozy around. Or just people who really get you. Where you can let your guard down and show your more unique and eccentric side, and you don't have to worry about any sort of judgment. Like, you're safe to be exactly as you are. That's what this is all about. It's all about friendship. So even if there's a romantic partnership, at the core of it is friendship. Even if there's a business partnership, I feel like you'll also develop a friendship there. Like, we genuinely care about each other as people, not just what we can give each other. And we're always going to look out for each other. You're really feeling that genuine community. There could be something with your 11th house as well. Like, some of you, maybe Jupiter is going through your 11th house, or it's positively aspecting your 11th house ruler. But wow, that's such a lovely message and so consistent across all of the cards. Like, you really needed to know that. And again, like, you'll have a lot to celebrate with these people. It's like you're all succeeding together. Okay, so let's look at these final cards. I'm getting the sensation like my ears are popping. Maybe that's just something that happens when your guides are talking to you. I just saw 2222 as well. Maybe like when a higher self of a loved one is communicating to you, you'll get kind of a sensation in your ears. Because I don't get that sensation normally. Very occasionally I'll get like a ringing, but that ear popping thing, that's definitely like I'm picking up on someone. Also, some of you could be flying, because airplanes definitely make your ears pop. Or I'm also thinking like when you go in an elevator and you go to a really, really high floor, your ears can pop. So, maybe some of you are like gonna be in a penthouse or just something, the top floor of a hotel, or I don't know, something high up. Maybe that's like a metaphor for leveling up as well. Bravely market your magic with number 39. Shiva Transcendence with the number 40. Prepare to step into your seat of higher awareness and conscious action. And Peony. Prosperity and compassion. Prosperity depends more on wanting what you have than on having what you want. Right away, I'm thinking of Soak Up the Sun by Sheryl Crow, which was one of my grandpa's favorite songs. I'm not gonna cry, but that was one of his favorite songs. And I hope he is resting peacefully. Maybe you have a loved one on the other side who's watching over you. But yeah, I forget if I said, but there's a line in that song that says, it's not having what you want, it's wanting what you've got. So I immediately thought of that. This is definitely giving the vibe of you manifesting prosperity because, okay, I'm seeing like a chair, probably because it says prepare to step into your seat. And so I have like a chair in my mind's eye, and this chair has always been yours. And it's just been waiting for you to sit in it, to claim it, to own it. There's like a role that has always been meant for you, and now you're finally rising to the occasion and marketing yourself as such, identifying yourself as such. You may start finally identifying yourself in a certain way that you were always meant to, on a professional level or on a personal level. But what I was thinking of was, and I do talk about this sometimes in readings, you know, there's really a difference. There's a difference in the vibration of saying, you know, oh, I read tarot cards versus like, I am a tarot reader. One of them has more like authority and more beingness to it, more confidence. So some of you could be finally feeling confident to take on a new role and own it, and recognize that this is the role that you are meant for. You're no longer doubting your abilities. You're no longer downplaying them. I'm seeing a scenario where a person would say, oh, I hear you do this and this. Like, oh, so-and-so tells me you have a real gift for XYZ. And then you go like, oh no, like I just kind of, you know, I dabble in it. But now, if someone says that, you're like, why yes, why yes, I do have this gift. Why yes, I do that. And let me tell you about it and let me promote myself a little bit. I think you're becoming more comfortable doing that because you're recognizing that is how I find my people. If I'm downplaying my gifts and downplaying who I truly am, it's going to be really hard for my people to find me, because how will they recognize me if they don't know what I'm all about? And so I think you're going to start seeing self-promotion or showing off is not the right word, but yeah, like showing off your gifts, letting people know about your gifts, promoting yourself in that way. You're going to stop seeing it as like a self-centered thing and start seeing it as like, I'm giving the people who resonate with me a chance to find me, a chance to recognize me and seek me out. I'm putting out that light so that those who are meant to find me can find me. And it becomes about connection. I do believe this is a heart chakra card because of the green color. Yeah, it becomes about connection, which is the biggest theme during this transit. So I think that's your piece of advice. And yeah, it's interesting that we have 39 and 40 here, just because those are consecutive numbers. That could be an age, or something else that's coming to my mind is that it could be a room number or an address number. Maybe this is just for like one person, but you and someone else could have rooms next to each other. Like, I don't know, I'm thinking of apartment units or hotel rooms or even offices in a big office building, and you have consecutive numbers because you're right next to each other. Anyway, I think that is everything for my group number 2s. So thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. By the way, that's Willow barking upstairs. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. And if you'd like to find me elsewhere, I'm gonna have linked down below my Instagram and my music channel, where I have finally posted something new. I remixed a deadmau5 song, and it was very fun. So if you want to check it out, that's going to be linked down below. And you can also listen to the intro song of this video here, the you know, that thing at the start of videos, that's on there too. That's an original song. So yeah, Thank you so much for supporting me, my channel, and everything I do. I really appreciate having you here, and I'm sending so much love to you, to everyone who appeared in this reading, your higher self, your spirit guides, your spiritual team, and all of your loved ones, both here on Earth and in the other realms. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye! Hi, number threes. So if you guys chose the Citrine, this is going to be your reading all about Jupiter in Leo. So we are going to start with these oracle cards to see the main vibes of this transit for you. We have gratitude. I am thankful for this life and the opportunities that it presents. We have diamond. And we have ghost. Okay, I kind of want to start with this diamond card. Oh, first of all, April could be a significant month because diamond is a birthstone of April. So maybe like April 2027 is going to be a really blessed month for you because that is within the Jupiter in Leo transit, or someone born in April could be significant to you. But what was coming to my mind with this diamond, and actually group 2 got the same message, but it is making me think of a diamond ring, like an engagement ring or a wedding ring. So some of you could be getting married or engaged during this transit, or meeting the person that you will marry, or this could be symbolic of a committed partnership that's happening during this transit. But also, diamond feels like something that is very precious and very special. So this is going to be different for every person watching this. But I feel like Jupiter could be bringing a blessing to you related to whatever is the most precious to you, whatever is the most important to you, whatever you value the most. Like, this could be a connection with someone you love the most, or like a path or a goal of yours that is like your top priority, your biggest wish or dream. Like, what is your number one? What is your top wish? And that's going to be different for everyone, but I feel like that's what Jupiter is bringing you. The letter G could be significant as well because we have gratitude and ghost. This blessing might come about in a way where, like, certain unknowns or disappointments that you had along the journey, like, it all comes together in the end and you understand why things had to unfold the way they did, and you can be left with a sense of gratitude. I don't know, these two cards together, it made me think of like gratitude for the unknowns, gratitude for what you couldn't see or what you couldn't have at one point. Like, I understand why now was the right time for me to receive these things. I understand why it unfolded this way, and I'm grateful. And I understand why maybe at some points in the journey I wasn't ready to know certain things. I hope that makes sense. Also, ghost is kind of making me think of spirits. So something that Jupiter could be magnifying during this transit for you is your connection to non-physical beings. Whether that be spirit guides, whether that be your own higher self or the higher selves of loved ones who have passed on. You may be really feeling a connection to the spiritual realm magnifying during this transit. Now, I'm thinking of ghosts, like ghosting someone, but maybe this is just a message about reuniting with a person you haven't spoken to in a long time. Maybe that's just for some of you, but I was sort of getting that feeling with ghost. Okay, let's get into the tarot and see what's unfolding in your life. I'm also thinking with the diamond of clarity. And I think this is clarity about your own journey. I think you're going to receive a lot of clarity that what you desire and what you're destined to do are the same thing. Like you're receiving a huge confirmation of that. And you're becoming a lot better at just like stating to the universe what it is that you want very clearly, because you know down in your heart that's truly what you want, and you know down in your heart that the universe will work with you to manifest it. It's becoming a lot easier for you to just be honest with yourself about your heart's desires and like clearly state them to the universe or clearly state them to others. So your manifestation process could be becoming more smooth, more clear. And there could be something here as well about you shining. Like something that could also be growing during this transit is your visibility and how comfortable you are with shining and being in the spotlight. Someone or multiple people from your past could be returning because they see how brightly you're shining. I think this transit is boosting also, like, yes, your visibility, but also just your personal magnetism and your personal attractiveness to others. You could be going through a significant glow up during this period. And I don't know how you feel about the person from your past coming back. Maybe that's different for others watching this, but it's more so like, oh, you noticed that I'm thriving now. You noticed that I'm shining. People are taking notice of you. You may be, in the spotlight in some way, in the center of attention in some way. I'm thinking too about diamonds are created under pressure. Something you're currently working on or something you're currently going through that has brought you quite a bit of stress could be turning out to be a great success during this transit. We have the Ace of Wands. Yeah, I definitely feel like this transit is boosting your magnetism, your attractiveness, your confidence, your visibility. You are definitely giving main character energy. I wonder if you have Leo placements. Well, either way, or maybe just fire placements in general. Either way, you are shining and you are the main character. I also think you are going to enjoy boosted creativity and boosted motivation to create things. You could be starting and finishing projects faster than usual because of the clarity of your vision. You could even be channeling creative works because we had that message about you feeling connected to the spirit realm and non-physical beings. And then we have this creative energy with the Ace of Wands. And sometimes I do think of the Ace of Wands as like you're channeling something from your higher self. So I think your creative process is just becoming very smooth and like your vision is becoming very clear. And you could be finishing projects quickly and then also releasing them into the world swiftly. Like from the moment you had the idea to the moment it's out in the world and being shared, that could be quite a smaller window than what you're used to. And I just heard it's exhilarating because whatever you're putting out into the world, it's like the emotion is still fresh, if that makes sense. By the time you're putting it out and sharing it, you're still actually in that emotional experience. It's a very current representation of you. Ooh, I think you're gonna have a lot of fun with like creating and storytelling and sharing your inner world through like art or just the work that you do. if you work in a team or in a group, you could be given a little bit more, a bigger piece of the pie in collaborations. So for example, let's say you work in a team, like you make projects together, and until now you were kind of contributing like 10% to the project. Maybe you're going to be allowed to take up more of that. Like maybe now you can contribute 30% to the project. And so when the final thing is presented or the final thing is released, there's like more of you in it. You recognize more of yourself in what you're producing. It could also, like, if you're creating things by yourself, it could just be that what you're creating is feeling more authentic. You're feeling more comfortable sharing your true self, and like you know how to channel your true self into your works. It kind of reminds me, like, when I started my channel at first, I think I was kind of shy and awkward, and so my voice like jumped up an octave and I was like, "Hi guys!" And I kind of had this like baby voice going on and I talked really fast. I think I was just still kind of uncomfortable talking to a camera. But now that it's been some time, I can just talk normally and flow normally, and my videos have become longer because it's like, I feel like I'm just chatting with you and I'm more relaxed and I'm channeling more comfortably. So something like that could be happening to you, like in your work, in your craft, where you feel more yourself. Maybe some barriers of nervousness or like imposter syndrome, or just kind of like an awkwardness, like I don't really know how to do this yet, that could be kind of melting away, and you feel a lot more natural in work or in creative ventures. This is probably not going to be for everyone, but if you have like a personal brand, you might start feeling more proud of it and like, yeah, this is me and I want to share this with everyone. I think you are getting very comfortable with visibility. I'm tasting tomatoes, like cherry tomatoes. And actually, I know that there's, in the Green Witch Oracle, there is a tomato card. So I bet you it has a spiritual meaning. Vitality. Ooh, heart-centered love and patience. That's nice. Okay, anyway. Let's keep going. I'm also seeing a truck. Maybe someone drives a truck, or maybe you're moving. Maybe it's like a moving truck. We have, is that the Four of Wands? Four of Wands and Diamond. Who's getting married? I feel like someone important is during this transit, whether that's you or a loved one. That's crazy. And we have we have the Knight of Cups. Yeah, I think someone is. Also, I'm thinking about, we were talking about this in the Astro Talk portion of the video, because Jupiter is going to trine Saturn in Aries, and it's going to be in the last decan. I think it's in mid-July of 2027. I'll put a subtitle if I'm wrong, but there's going to be a Jupiter-Saturn trine, and Saturn's going to be in the third decan of Aries, which is the decan associated with the Four of Wands. So that's a huge sign of your efforts paying off. And I think that this boosted confidence you're experiencing during this time is something that you can just integrate into your being. Like it's not as if Jupiter's gonna leave Leo and then the confidence is gonna go away. It's teaching you how to be that. It's teaching you a lesson that you can keep with you when Jupiter moves on. So this is going to be long lasting. The Four of Wands and the Knight of Cups could also be talking about you finding your community, finding your people. There could be a blessing coming to your home and family life as well. So, oh, and that's so interesting because the Four of Wands can talk about a happy home life. And I just saw the truck in my mind's eye and I thought maybe it's like a moving truck. So for those of you who have been desiring to relocate somewhere, this could be a really big sign that you're going to move somewhere better than where you currently are. And or even if you have a dream home or a dream city that you want to live in, this transit could be the time where you're able to do that. And wherever you are, whether you're moving or not, I do think there's a message here about you really loving and connecting with the people you're around. Like you have a lot in common and you feel like you can be yourself around them. And I do see you in a community that is quite creative and it's mentally stimulating for you. I think you're going to start getting inspired by a lot of different things. Just for example, let's say you're a poet and when you leave the house, you could write a poem about anything you see or anything you interact with because it's all so beautiful to you and your creative juices are just flowing that much that something's gonna come out. This is very exciting. I do think, okay, I just heard like you're creating original ideas. Which like, duh, if you're creating something, that's your original idea. But maybe that's a message like you're embracing your originality more, or maybe you're experimenting more. Maybe your metric for like, is this good work is, do I feel like this is authentic? Do I feel like this is genuine? Do I see myself in this? Because something can be technically good, but it can also lack passion. Or it can lack, you know, a glimpse of the person behind it. And so I think you're really feeling like you're putting your heart and soul into it in a more noticeable way, if that makes sense. And yeah, with this Knight of Cups here, I definitely feel like your spiritual gifts are heightening. Your emotional capacities could also be heightening. You could find that you're a bit more sensitive during this transit. I wondered if for some of you, Jupiter is going to be transiting through a traditionally water-ruled house, like 4th, 8th, or 12th house. Or maybe Jupiter is going to be, maybe like you have Moon in Leo and Jupiter is going to conjoin your Moon or something. Or is going to do something to your Moon. I don't know. Because I feel like intuition and also emotional sensitivity is heightening. We have the Empress. There's a lot of similarities with group 2 because they also got a message about like a diamond ring, and they were also getting messages about community, having like-minded people around them. And they also got a Citrine card. And they also got the Empress card. Of course, you don't have to watch group 2's reading, but if you were already kind of feeling drawn to it, it may resonate with you as well. Like, look, we have Diamond, we have the Empress, we have the Four of Wands, we have the Knight of Cups. Like, someone's falling in love. Like, if you're already in a relationship, your bond could really be deepening during this transit. You could be taking things to the next level with your partner. You could be going through kind of a renewed honeymoon phase. You could be traveling with your partner. Maybe some of you have been married for a while, but you haven't gotten a chance to go on your honeymoon yet. And this could be the time where you're able to do that. But I definitely see you in love. Or at the very least, like if romantic love is not your thing, please claim this as you feeling immense love for the people around you and feeling very loved yourself. With the Empress and the Ace of Wands, there could be blessings coming in your intimate life as well. feel free to claim that. It makes sense because you're feeling more confident, you're feeling more attractive, you're feeling, well, you have gone through some kind of glow up. You are glowing. You're feeling the love. It makes sense. You could be meeting someone new who's really, like, you feel a spark, you feel good chemistry, you could have really good physical chemistry with someone. Jupiter could definitely be magnifying that department for you. It's clear that you're feeling really alive during this transit. Oh wow, look what's at the bottom. We have the Ten of Cups. This is going to be a very happy transit for you, my friend. Four of Wands and the Ten of Cups. There's so many love indicators, like happy home, happy family indicators. I want to tell you guys that your family is protected, that your family is going to be okay. If you have loved ones that you keep in your prayers, loved ones that you have wishes for, your wishes will come true for them. You can manifest for yourself, but you can also manifest for your loved ones. But I do feel like the happiness and health of your loved ones is protected here too. Also, like, here we were talking about your most precious wish, your biggest wish being granted. And then we have the Ten of Cups too, which is like your happily ever after, your biggest possible emotional fulfillment, everything you could ever want. It's like kind of the same message appearing again and again throughout this reading. This is beautiful. So what I want to do now is we're going to look at these oracle cards for some advice for you. We have, I keep flipping the cards over upside down. We have Creator Fire, which just fits so well. Definitely create. When you feel the nudge, just go for it. Because once you start, maybe starting is kind of hard. I personally feel like it's sometimes hard to get myself to sit down and create. But once you just start, you'll get into the flow like that, and your vision will become very clear. And then you'll gain momentum. I feel like you're gonna finish a project and be like, oh my gosh, that was so fast, and it just came together so smoothly, which can be kind of rare. Be kind of rare for creative projects, but it's like, I see you being so pleased with how everything just came together, and then the next thing you know, you finish another one and another one, until it's not this surprising thing for you anymore. You're just like, yeah, I get projects done. I get projects finished, and I share them with the world, and they can come quickly and easily to me. That just kind of becomes the new norm for you. So the only advice I can say here is just start. I don't know, I feel like starting could be hard for some of you. Sometimes I kind of trick myself into starting, and I'll say like, oh, I don't have to make anything today. I'm just gonna sit down and mess around for 5 minutes. That's all. I'm just gonna sit down and mess around for a few minutes. No pressure. I think it really is the pressure, isn't it? It's like you feel pressure to create good results, and then the pressure makes you procrastinate. But if you can just trick yourself into starting and just playing around for a few minutes, you will get in the flow. Your capacity to like slip into that creative flow is being maximized here. We have Sky Messenger, freedom, let go of restrictions and set yourself free. This is a Jupiter in Leo reading, but I feel like Uranus in Gemini is probably benefiting you as well. That is a much longer transit. Uranus is going to be in Gemini until 2033, I want to say, but I feel like that could be really liberating you as well. I can definitely see you releasing a lot of inhibitions, especially around how you're allowed to express yourself. And some of you may kind of change up your style in a drastic way, because I'm hearing something like you're freeing your mind from the idea that the next iteration of you has to be a logical continuation from the previous version of you. You can just take a dramatic leap to something entirely different. You're allowed to do that. You're allowed to reinvent yourself, and you don't have to resemble what you were doing before. So some of you are taking a big leap creatively. You could be taking a big leap in how you present yourself physically, like changing up your aesthetic, changing up your style. You're releasing limiting beliefs about what kinds of transformations are possible for you. And we have Venus Mallow, delicate, fleeting beauty. When life is not coming up roses, look to the weeds and find the beauty hidden within them. I feel like the message here is that the greatest gift in life is to be able to experience the full spectrum of emotions. The 10 of Cups has a rainbow on it, as it does in most decks. And that does make me think of the full spectrum. Like, if you have to be happy all the time, then you won't be very happy, if that makes sense. Because it always feels best to just be in whatever emotion you're actually in that moment, to be true to it, to be authentic with it and feel it fully, rather than trying to fight it. And I'm thinking about that previous message of, your heightened emotional sensitivity during this time and how you're inspired by everything around you. And I really feel like no matter what emotional state you might find yourself in, there's some beauty that you can find in it. And there's some inspiration that you can find in it. You may find a lot of healing in like channeling your emotions into creativity. Maybe that creative process helps you understand your emotions and helps you understand your inner world better. And there's a feeling here too, like don't wait for the perfect moment, I think is a piece of advice for you. Don't wait for the perfect moment to start. Don't wait for the perfect moment to be happy. Don't wait for the perfect moment to start enjoying life. Start now where you are, because that's the perfect place. You may have a limiting belief that kind of places everything you want just a little bit away from you, just a little bit ahead. Like, oh, I'm going to have my glow up and that new version of me is ready for what I want. Perpetually in this state of almost being ready for it, of almost being worthy of it, of almost being aligned with it, and sort of like postponing the fulfillment of your desires. What if you already are that version? What if you already are ready? I think Jupiter, and also Uranus in Gemini, is going to help you realize that you just need to say the word to start experiencing your dream life. You just have to say the word that you're ready now. And I think you are. You are. Yeah. Okay, group 3, those are all the messages that I have for you. So I'm going to end your reading here. Thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself. Stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. And if you'd like to find me elsewhere, I'm going to have linked down below my Instagram, my music channel, which finally has a new song on it. I made a remix of a deadmau5 song, so if you want to check that out, that's going to be down below. And also, the intro song of this video is an original song, so that will be there too. Thank you so much for supporting me, my channel, and anything I do. I really appreciate having you here, and I'm sending so much love to you, your higher self, your spirit guides, your spiritual team, and all of your loved ones, both here on Earth and in the other realms. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye!